All right, hello everybody. Welcoming you all. I've been sitting here waiting for my camera to go live because where we are currently, it is raining ice and sleet. Okay, well, hopefully everybody's been doing well. You guys had a great holiday. We have one card. We're going to roll with one card. So I'm going to change it up a little bit. I've decided to change how I'm delivering my content. We just did a reel, which was like a recap. We're going to do the draw, but I'm going to just do one card and see how that resonates and marinates with y'all. So the one card, when I asked, what is like the theme right now for the collective? The Knight of Swords is the one that popped out. Okay, so you guys can see the telescope here. The guy has a rocket pack, a booster pack on his back, which means news is traveling quickly. This card means planning, vision, strategy. Within the swords suit, my friends, we find three zodiacs: Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This is about how we communicate. This is about how we think, how we talk, how we express ourselves. This also means somebody here is in transition. Now, I can 100% identify with this message just in one card. There's a little bit of fear here. There's a little bit of self-doubt. Are you making the right decision? Are you making the right choice? That is the question that some of you are probably still working through. You are navigating that. You are transitioning through this thinking process. Within the mind, we find all these little trickeries that the mind, the ego, plays on us. So that is like the quick rundown of what the swords encapsulates. So now let's get a little bit more specific with what this card is saying. In the reverse, you guys hear me say a lot on this channel. The reverse can mean a couple of different things. I'm going to invite you guys to intuitively feel what this means for you. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples, and then you're going to go, yeah, that sounds like my jam, or no, that's not for me. Either you're being asked to let something go, you've let something go, or you're trying to take action and something just isn't quite ready. And that's where the fear and the restlessness that this card is kind of like hinting to is starting to tap into that theme, that life lesson or a pattern that is showing up for somebody. So I'm just going to look at my notes real quick just to make sure that I don't miss anything. Again, we're doing a one card draw tonight. So there's a messenger. Now the messenger could be yourself kind of feeling like, you know, shit needs to change, something needs to happen, but you just can't quite place what it is. Or maybe you know exactly what it is that needs to change and you're struggling with actually taking action because you're doubting yourself. So in reverse, as we just said, let's review again. Either you know what you need to do and it's just not quite the time, like maybe give it a couple more days or a couple of more weeks, but I feel like this message, this transition is going to come in quickly. Somebody's going to suggest something to you or kind of give you validation or give you insight or perspective that's going to help facilitate you taking this action that you want to take. Or you've already done it. So congratulations if you are the percentage that this card is in reverse saying, hey, congratulations, you've made up your mind, you've made a decision, and now we're just waiting for the time basically to catch up to itself, if that makes any sense, right? Even though sometimes we set action into play or action, we get that momentum going, sometimes it takes a little bit of time for events to actually play out, manifest, arrive, land, pick a word, okay? Some of you, I do want to honor that you might be feeling frustrated. Again, we already talked about this, just feeling a little bit of restlessness. Air zodiacs tend to be kind of wishy-washy. It might take you a little bit more time than, say, a fire sign. Fire signs, like we're already into 2027. Just saying. Calling myself out. Air signs tend to be a little bit, I don't want to say slow because that's not the word. We're not judging here, but my daughter is a Gemini. I do work with a couple of Geminis and I do have a couple of friends that are Aquarius, and they're kind of like, the energy is like rebellious. Like, I do me when I'm ready to do me. I make a decision when I'm ready to make a decision. Like, they have a rhythm of a drum that's very unique to them. Right? So that's kind of putting it nicely. So there's something here about, again, like you're feeling restless. There could be agitation. There's something here about some superficiality. There's something about superficialness, some kind of an outcome that's negative. There could be an argument because you're feeling restless. There's something here about gossip. There's something, again, I don't know if this is work related. This feels like it could be social circle / work environment. But there's definitely announcement. So whether you know this to be true for yourself or there's going to be somebody external of you, regardless of what their role is in your life, they're going to be bringing in some kind of announcement like, hey, you know what? You're right on. Maybe it's time for you to kind of like move on and transition into whatever it is that you want to do. There is a caution, and we're going to end the reading with this. There is a caution, however, maybe just drink this in, something to consider. If you move abruptly, if you move aggressively, if you move because you're seeking freedom and independence and you're brash about it, or you're just like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it because you're exhausted and you are feeling burnt out, there's going to be a mistake. Something is going to happen and it's not going to work out or land the way that you want. In other words, when we try to force something to change, we get more of that resistance that we're trying to change. Does that make sense? You can't force and cram things to happen. You have to allow. Hence the rocket. You are launching a desire, an intention, a goal, a wish, and now you need to just step back and let it happen. As much as we're restless, as much as we're feeling kind of agitated or whatever the emotion is, if you rush it, something is going to not be ready, which is the other end. Remember, you've done a thing, you need to do a thing, or something is not ready. That's the third one. If we rush it, this thing is going to get screwed up. Okay. We definitely don't want to miss this opportunity because we're too impatient and we just can't wait and allow the chips to fall into place, as it were. If we are reckless and impatient, okay, so understand that is contrast. We learn the most, we take away the most through that contrast. And in tonight's card, the contrast is that restlessness, that impatience, that is the invitation for you to grow. So there it is. There's another underlying theme. If we're missing the growth opportunity in this lesson, as we said before, that's where the mistake will happen. That's where you will find you just keep getting more and more and more of whatever this is that you're trying to transition away from. Okay. Hopefully this is making sense. I'm going to leave you guys with that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, the reason we're doing the 1 card draw is because I want to try to keep these readings as short as possible, because we all know that our attention span is like this big. So in love and light, leave me some feedback. Let me know if this was still effective, if this still resonated with you guys, and I'll catch you guys later this week. In light and love, everybody. Have a good night.